Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be a little bit different, something I haven't done before on this channel. This is totally not about sex work or anything that I do, but what this is about is if you wanted to start your own business, whether that's selling certain merch you want to sell, or starting getting your own lash company, your own lingerie, your clothes, fashion, whatever, just starting a brand of some sort and selling your like starting your own brand, you know? So I have this outline and it isn't, I guess, an order, although you don't have to do everything in the order that I tell you. I wanted to just gather up all the information that I've gotten and kind of will get you started on the right track. So let's just get into it. So I have the first thing on the outline I have is scheduling and the ABCs. So when I use my ABCs of camming, I also take it into other worlds and use it as well, because the accountability, the consistency, and the beauty of things, it just never changes. So I wanted, if you're just getting started, you need to come up with a schedule for yourself to put into your business. This can't be a wing it kind of thing. It needs to be scheduled and structured. So if you're working a job, or if you are having something else going on in your life, if you're a content creator, whatever, you just have all this other stuff, but you want to start a brand, like you do everything else, you have to have a schedule for it. I recommend when starting a company and selling a product that you set aside at least 15 to 20 hours a week that you can work on it and build. But if you don't have it, do it at your own pace. So then the next thing you need to think about is your business plan and your mission statement. I'm not going to go into detail on how to make your business plan. I can make a whole nother video if y'all want it. Go ahead and comment below. I probably won't make it unless someone asks, because I feel like you can look that stuff up on your own. But just having your business plan before you get started will set you up for success. And having a mission statement, and sometimes a mission statement comes after the fact because then you've gotten so much knowledge, or you might want to go back and change it. But I feel like stick to your business plan and get on the go. Then something else you need to think about is um, having samples of your products. You need samples of your products that you're not going to sell to give out for a promo, to get your product photography done with, because that is very, very important to have nice, clear, crisp, clean product photography pictures. And just so you can really know your product. What if you're starting a lotion or a hand cream? Like, you don't want to just order a bunch of shipment from Alibaba and get it and be unsatisfied, in your own product. But this is now something you have all these products of and you have to sell, and you're like, oh my gosh, you wasted your money. So you want to really get to know your product. It's always best to order product samples first, and then once you get your samples in, you've done your product photography, you have that to be able to advertise and everything, um and you get to know your product. So that's just better. Then if you like it, or you can send it back and or tell them what they would need to retweak on it before you make your big shipment, and then either order more samples to make sure it's right, or go ahead and place your order if you feel like it's going to be correct. um the next thing, you need to know your pricing and your like revenue, like what's actually going to be coming in, and your upfront cost. When starting a business, it is not free. Like, you're going to have upfront costs, you're going to have unexpected costs that you might not have ever thought about that you're going to have to put into this. So it's very important that you know what all your upfront cost is with your business. Something else, the next thing I would say you should think about is how are you going to beat your competition and knowing who your ideal customer is. So when you start something, you might have an idea of who your ideal customer is, but then you start saying, oh, well, they're buying this or they're buying that. Or you might know, like, you might target women 25 to 35 or whatever. You just having some awareness of potentially what it could be, although that part can change. And then you want to know who your competition is. Just the same way as when you're in like OnlyFans or you're um say you're just already a content creator. You're gonna know who the other content creators are. You're gonna know who your competition is. You're gonna click on their links and see what they're selling, see what platforms are on, see all this. The same thing when you are starting your business. So if you're starting a swimsuit line, well, you need to look up at all the swimsuit lines from the top to the bottom and go around and see who your competition is going to be and how you can beat the competition. Okay, so then the next thing you want to have in mind to think about is product shipping and packaging. A note that I took was if you sell prior priority mails free. Okay, if you're okay, you can get the priority mail free envelopes through USPS. If you're somewhere else, I don't know how else you would get it, but that always works for that. That's just a little side note I have. But product shipping and packaging, you want to have packaging you want your packaging to stand out, be unique, really represent your brand. So that is something that you do got to keep in mind. And how are you shipping your product? Are you storing all this stuff in your house? Are you storing it at the Amazon warehouse? Like, where is your product going to be at? And what are your plans for shipping? And you need to know all the rules and regulations wherever you're from for that. So make sure you do look that up. Um, then I wanted to get into social media and just things you might need for your brand. You're going to need, of course, an email. Don't use your personal email. Go ahead and start you a business email because that's way better. Instagram, Twitter, put in a link tree or some third party link where you can put all those links in one. That is very, very important to have. Um, you want to think about a logo. Now, I recommend Fiverr because get mine done for $5. So that's always a good place to go to get a logo. But I mean, then they have all these logo makers and stuff on Instagram. I would just recommend Fiverr over that for the simple fact that it's cheaper and some of the work is better. But buy at your own discretion. Just, watch who you're buying from. Um, Learning how to brand. You really need to do some research on how you are going to brand your product. Okay, and future ideas, just to keep in mind, you can always do tours with your product. For instance, now that all these festivals are back up and open, all these expos are back up and open, they're always doing like industry nights where they have vendors. Anywhere that you can vend at, you can really set up a tour and go around with your product and sell your product at these different vending opportunities. So that's something to think about for the future because that is another way instead of just being an online seller that you can have some in-person stuff and do some networking and sell your product. Starting a Facebook group. Like, I'm not on Facebook, but that's a really huge thing right now. People are really on that. People with businesses have their groups and everything for your customers, your fans to just all come and have a community and maybe do special sales on there, blah blah blah, whatever. If not that, maybe you're gonna have a fan site. Um, some sort of way. Maybe you started selling this product and you are the face of it and now you're popular and now you might need to start a fan site for it. uh, posting, scheduling out time to really be posting and doing your marketing. And maybe consider getting an online assistant if that's something that's going to be overwhelming. So, say you already have a business and you're thriving and you're making good money, you can hire people to set all this stuff up for you. It's just if you're on more of a budget, you have to do all this shit yourself. Um, so, yeah, those are just some key things that when you're going into starting your brand, your business, that you might want to think about, that you might not have thought about just yet, because we are in the, developmental stages of your products. Um, and if you want my opinion as to where to get wholesalers from, I mean, there's all over, but I recommend going to Alibaba, taking your time, and really looking over the different wholesalers. There's thousands of them there, so you do have to be careful. But there's all kind of YouTube videos on how to buy products and stuff off Alibaba that I don't even need to make one because there's so many. So definitely look into that for a wholesale. But other than that, go ahead and like, subscribe to my channel. Comment below what you're thinking, if this was any use to you or whatever. So, peace.